So we want to start saving some money on some worm casting when we start fertilizing and top dressing our garden. So in this video, we're going to show you a easy, simple DIY worm farm bin. And we're going to start right now. What's going on, YouTube gardeners? It's your boy Sydney from the Naked Gardener channel. Today we got our worms in from Uncle Jim. And so it comes shipped in some dry peat moss. And so what they say to do is to take about a half cup of water and just dump it in there to get it, kind of get it live and well. And so we're going to do that right there. And then while these worms are hydrating, we are going to prepare the bedding for it. What we're going to do is we're going to add some peat moss into here with some compost and some bedding. We got some shredded paper, and then we're going to add some food waste. Now normally you want to start anywhere from about a 15 to I think a 30-gallon container like this, and you want to make sure that it is a dark, so that way sunlight doesn't hit it. And because the worms, they do not like light, so you want to keep it as dark as possible. And then from what we saw from Homestead and Chill is we're going to feed each week. We're going to alternate each side of the bin when we're feeding the worms. So once you add all this, you want to get it nice and moist to where it's like a rained out sponge. But before we do that, we're going to drill some holes so that allows the worms to have some type of ventilation and be able to breathe. So once we do that, then we'll go to the bedding. All right, so we got the holes in here. Now we're going to start filling up the bedding. We'll start with the peat moss, the shredded paper, and then we're going to add some of the compost. All right. Now we only purchased about 100 of these, and as you can see right here, they clump together like this. And from what I was reading, worms are asexual, so they're both males and females, and the way they reproduce is when you see two worms tangled up together, they are basically making some love, and uh, they could double in size within about 90 days. And so what you would like see right here, once you put them into this soil mixture, on top of these beddings, they're actually going to start to disperse. Don't worry about them just staying in clump in one area. And what you'll do is put some bedding all across through there. And wet it down just a little bit more. And we'll add some more peat moss, just a little bit. Now, what we'll do is we'll put some paper on top of here, and won't put the lid on there just yet. We'll wait 24 hours. From what the suggested warnings for these when you first do your bedding is to not have anything over it. You don't have to worry about the crawlers crawling out of it because they don't like light. So you don't have to worry about that. We got the holes in here to help them breathe. And then as they start to dig deeper and eating and everything, we'll just keep on. Every week we'll alternate. We'll do a small batch each week just to see how much they have ate. And then if the food goes away that fast, we'll increase their feeding. And we'll probably even start putting some of these in our worm tower beds, so that way it can also speed up some of the food waste that we put in there. So this is a good way to get rid of some of your food waste and also feed to your garden. We'll give you feedback up to these won't be ready. The worm casting and everything won't be ready to about 3 months, 3 to 4 months, depending on how fast they break down everything. But we're looking about ready for the fall garden and getting ready for our spring, where we can start harvesting some of these worm casts. So if you like these kind of DIY videos, I'm gonna put a card on some other playlists that we have for these DIY lists in our garden. And into the next video, let's grow together.